And action! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geekheads podcast where we talk about everything film industry related.
Yeah.
And today we are doing the Star Wars tier list, Star Wars movies tier list again. It's been a while since we last did this one, and our opinions have probably changed. Hopefully, it's not gonna be complete same episode. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And if there's somebody who's wondering, like, this is way too long for me, well, this is podcast.
Yeah, it's
First of all.
supposed
But
to be
second of
a
all,
podcast type-ish video for. So
yeah,
it's,
type is just chatting and talking shit
yeah.
while doing the tier list, and giving our all thoughts, honest thoughts. But I'm probably at some point when I have time, and if I'm not too lazy, I'm gonna edit like some type of, I don't know, highlight reel or like more compact, shorter version of this.
Yep.
So if this is too long for you, then just, I don't know, subscribe and
Check.
wait for
Yeah.
that one.
Check the channel if there's already a shorter version out, or if not, then
So, yeah,
subscribe the channel and wait
yeah,
and hope
and
for the best.
notification bell on. So, but yeah, should we just go straight to the tier list?
Yeah.
Start maybe with the Clone Wars movie, get it over and done with. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
To
think.
be honest, I will put it probably on D. Just that sounded so wrong. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, it's just nothing compared to these other movies. Like, that's my opinion. Like, I don't know. Like, even sequels, but it's stupid to compare because, I mean, it's like a cartoon, just movie that just basically, it's not even a proper movie. It just gives space for the series or the TV show to happen. So it's very difficult to compare to actual live action movies. So,
Yeah, exactly. And the whole movie is basically 4 Clone Wars Season 1 episodes or Season 0 episodes. So Clone Wars as itself is really good movie, but I mean series, but that movie is just it's not great. It's just I mean it's CD D tier, but if you go in D, let's put it first on D tier.
yeah, just in case, like, so we have more, like, just because if we both agree that it's worse than these movies,
Yeah.
then it's just like bottom of the list. Yeah, I can't even speak anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the story is decent. I mean, it's a decent story, but
Yeah.
it's a cartoon cartoon. It's an animated series, somebody would say, but yeah, it's just not that good.
Yeah.
If we got that movie made really as a movie and in the current Clone Wars style, I mean that. It could be a much better one. I mean, it could get a higher tier.
Well, yeah, so we just go to the actual movies.
Yeah, let's go for Prequel Trilogy. Am I wrong or am I right?
Yeah, Prequel Trilogy, and go with the first one, Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, okay.
This movie is a fucking menace, if you ask me.
Yeah,
just kidding. It's decent. Like, I like it. Probably because nostalgia value might be also a reason, but like, I don't know, like, watching it later on, there's some shit that, is almost too cringe to watch and something, but like, I freaking love Darth Maul, I like Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, exactly. The movie story, yeah, exactly. The story is great, the characters are great, but what happens? Yeah, it kind of it fails a little bit as a movie. It has great moments and stuff, but
like, I think actually, like, what I dislike most about them is, like, Anakin is too young, so it gives like this weird vibe. Even though, like, their age shouldn't be that different, like between Anakin and Padme.
Yeah,
like in the script or in paper, but they look so much, or Padme looks so much older.
Yeah, so much older. Yeah,
it's weird. It's creepy. And also Jar Jar Binks is like I don't hate that character. I think it's like C3PO was. So it's basically for the children, like this funny
Yeah.
meme character. But
Yeah, the whole movie is pointed for a younger audience. The whole theme of the movie is kind of this like adventurous, still happy-ish. You know,
yeah,
like episode 2 is like comes out 2 years later, 3 years later. So you can't like the first people were like 9 to 11, maybe target audience. Then they are 11 to 14, and then the
yeah,
episode 3 is targeted for then like 14 to 17 year old. So yeah, it like ages with the viewer, like the original
yeah,
target audience. So yeah.
yeah. And I mean, like, I hope the original trilogy fans understand that when they watched the original trilogy as a kids, they were also made for like in the style that everybody can watch them, like kids can watch them and enjoy them too. And the
Yeah.
same thing is with prequels. Prequels are meant to not just cater for original trilogy fans, but to bring more new younger fans to Star Wars community.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's weird to criticize these movies for being for kids when the original trilogy was just as well for kids. Like at the time, it was just different
of
way
course.
you see kids movies.
Of course, this aging with the viewer concept didn't exist back in 19 something. I'm not sure release dates for some reason right now, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean the point was like
Yeah.
like even in episode 6, they were first supposed to have like Wookiees, I think, and then they changed to Ewoks. Is it Ewoks?
Yeah, Ewoks, yeah.
Because they wanted to have like some cute animals that kids would like. That's the reason.
Yeah, probably.
So, you need to understand that it's like they're made to be like family movies basically, like, or to every age.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but it's pretty probably still kind of close because we want to sell merchandise. So, I mean, that's what Disney will do, but I think they also had a budget issue, so they went with Ewoks or something. It was just much cheaper
Yeah, that was
to do.
that was other thing too. But like what I remember George Lucas talking about it was like he wanted to make it like kids would like it as well, and then they could better sell merchandise and stuff like that, like kids toys and Legos and stuff like that. So the same thing is with Phantom Menace, or in prequels in general, but mostly in Phantom Menace. But I think where it fails is that Jar Jar Binks, like, as the type of character, I think he has way too much screen time, and then just the boat racing part was way too long. I don't know.
It's nothing I will do maybe first thing in a movie, but
Yeah.
it's a thing, and you have to have a story. It spends nice 20 minutes out of the script. I don't know if it's really necessary. Somebody would say if that was a series, somebody would just say that's a filler episode. But yeah, the whole movie is like we said, it's age with the viewer. So I would say it's also the tier of the movie, like how good they are. They're also kind of going from 1 to 3. Episode 3 is absolutely the best out of the original trilogy, and the Phantom Menace is of course the worst. So
yeah, there is some things that I like more about Phantom Menace than Attack of the Clones, but like in general, I think also Attack of the Clones was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw, so that has some value.
Yeah,
that's one reason, but like
personal value.
I have to agree with you, but I'm still, to me, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are very close.
Yeah,
I think
really
Attack
close.
of the Clones is like more entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
I guess like
of course
there's more things happening. I think Phantom Menace is very much like world building, but where it fails is just it's 80% world building just in Tatooine by it,
Yeah.
But it like gives the backstories to a lot of characters. I would have preferred if Darth Maul would have died that way.
Yeah.
Like I mean now it makes sense with Clone Wars and stuff, but with the original trilogy I think it would have been much more it would
Yeah,
have had much bigger impact if Darth Maul would have been what Dooku was, and then he would have been in the episode 2, and then when he would have died, like Dooku did in episode 3, in the hands of Anakin, it would have made much more like sense,
yeah. In
or made
simple,
much
yeah,
bigger impact.
in a simple way, it would have had like a character story arc, and then you would have like of course Maul being the villain of 1, 2, 3, basically, or start of 3, and then it switches to Palpatine or
Yeah, and it
Sidious.
would have been much
So
more tense, the situation and everything. I think the whole Anakin Darth Maul rivalry will have been much more impactful. That's just the way I see it. So I don't know, but then again, thanks to it not being that way and we having Dooku, we got to have the Darth Maul we ended up having.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
these are comments that probably were thrown a lot around 2006, 2005, 4, but currently with the Clone Wars, I'm still happy how it turns out.
Yeah, me too. But like, just thinking about the trilogy, like considering the movies, it would have made the movies better in a sense.
Yeah.
So now it's like Clone Wars makes the movies better instead.
So yeah, we're basically talking about episodes 1 and 2 here, and basically future 3 also. But so let's talk about the theory.
Consider B, maybe tier B. It's between B and C, but maybe just maybe B.
I mean, because I have to put episode 2 somewhere, so I will drop episode 1 to C and put episode 2 on B, like straight away,
Okay.
Because episode 3 is between S and A tier. It's it's really high. So I will say Attack of the Clones is on B and Phantom Menace is on C tier.
Yeah. I mean, like episode 3 is S tier for me.
Yeah, I totally
episode
agree.
Episode 2 is B or A, maybe. But it kind of feels weird to put on A.
Yeah, there's so many other good movies that you want to put on A tier. So there isn't a stack on, like S or A tier, like 3-4 movies on one tier and then just like one movie on B,
Yeah.
So absolutely, I think Revenge of the Sith should be S tier, no doubt. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I think you agree, so
let's just put that to S tier. Do we put episode 2 on B or A?
I would say we put it on B now, but we can lift it up if it seems that there's too many movies stacking up.
Should be a little bit like talk about why putting episode 3 on S tier. Talk about the movie just a little bit.
It's probably great. Like we talked about also, like I said, it's made for a more mature audience, of course, and it's just my favorite movie. It has a great story, great characters, great action, great everything. Everything nice everything great is happening. Everything Star Wars is happening on the movie.
Yeah, I mean it's very dramatic, tragic movie.
Yeah,
it's my second favorite after. Well, we're gonna get into that probably at some point, but yeah, it's very. It's what I think like George Lucas wanted the prequels to be like. I think it has still some like if somebody doesn't like the dialogue style, which like I don't prefer, but I understand that it's artistic choice. It's not because George Lucas is bad. At least I don't think that way. I think it's artistic choice from Lucas that he wanted to do this very opera style theatrical,
but that's
dialogue.
But that's just great. Like Star Wars, like somebody says it's just about politics, their whole prequels, but the whole Star Wars is actually about politics if you go that far, but
yeah,
of course,
especially Clone Wars had a lot of that stuff.
Like you go Clone Wars, of course there's a war arcs, it's about Clone Wars, there's a war, but the whole war is just about politics after all, so.
And it gives like I think it's different. Like it's not basic Hollywood type of movie. I think it's one of the first movies that I ever saw where like good guys lose. It's like everything goes bad, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not like Infinity War was the first movie to do that. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
this is one of the first movies that I ever seen that happening. So it's not like the usual end of trilogy, and I think it has, in a good way, it has this surprise effect. And we're gonna talk about later on, but there's one movie that I think had a lot of surprises, but in my personal opinion,
Yeah, there's
in a
only
bad way.
yeah, like I would say, like I said, Episode 3 is as Star Wars as a Star Wars can get, and there's only like 3 movies I will say that live up to that potential or I will say that they get up to that potential that they're as Star Wars can get, you know. Episode
Yeah.
3 is one of them. We will talk about these really soon, so it's not the sequel trilogy, don't worry. Okay.
Or maybe it is. You need to watch the whole thing to find out.
Let me just praise the whole sequel trilogy and push everything to D tier and
Yeah.
murder you
The whole
between
sequel
the
trilogy
episodes.
on S tier.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
Last Jedi. And,
Last Jedi on S tier. But
Yeah.
should we move on?
Let's go to the Solo.
Yeah, first is Solo.
Solo first. I think it's very underrated movie. I think a lot of people chose to not like the movie even before it came out. And I think the actor for Han Solo, I don't remember his name, but I think he did amazing job. Maybe he doesn't look the most like Harrison Ford, but he kinda has the look that I always pictured young Han Solo to look like, with like hairstyle and basic facial shape and stuff like that. So, and he acts very well. He does all the Han Solo things like very well. And obviously it has some things that like how he got the gun and how he made like.
Yeah,
I don't understand
it's
when people
story. Yeah, it's origin story.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't understand when people criticize like who asked, who asked to have Star Wars movies in fucking general before George Lucas decided to make The New Hope. So like that's the fucking stupidest way to criticize anything. Like who asked? Nobody. But if we would only do movies that people asked us to do, then we wouldn't have no fucking movies in the first place.
That point kind of fails on the thing that it's a Solo. It's an origin movie for character Solo, Han Solo. And then you go for a movie and you're like, who asked? You asked to go for that movie if you're asking me. I mean, yeah, okay. I think the movie feels would work better as a series like Mandalorian, but yeah, I think it will work much better as a series, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I still hope it will have some other movie to continue the story somehow with the characters, like Darth Maul movie or something. Because they kind of teased that, but then they ended up scratching that idea, and now I don't know what the fuck they're going to do.
I think there was something about like Crimson Dawn sequel or series. Maybe that's a series coming up in few years, but there's the Ray Park controversy thing from few years back.
Yeah.
So that might be on hold, and I don't know if they will do it with Sam Witwer, but that will be a bit weird because I think they can do Starkiller with him, which would be cool thing. But I don't think they will do that either. But that would be cool.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a lot of cool things that they probably aren't gonna do.
Yeah, I mean,
sadly.
I mean, Sam Witwer, he doesn't look like he couldn't even be like old Maul, because I mean he's the voice of Maul in the current movies. Also, he's dubbing it all, but
yeah.
But you know, he doesn't look. He looks like Starkiller. The Starkiller character is modeled after him. It's just But of course, the character and the story are quite OP. So I don't know if it fits on the universe. We will see in a few years if that happens, but you know.
But yeah, talking about the Solo movie, I still like them. I think it's an enjoyable movie. It's not like the most impactful movie ever, but like it's a fun movie to. I think it's just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it's a fun movie to watch.
And gives more just background to not only Han Solo but other characters as well. Also, we got to see Emilia Clarke in Star Wars, which was cool. I
Yeah.
guess. She got her own Star Wars character. Now we just need to wait until she's in Marvel as well. Anyways, yeah,
Rating Solo on tier.
I would probably put it on B tier.
I
I
mean,
think it's like it's not the greatest movie, but it's fun.
it's bit.
Just fun
Yeah,
movie.
I would say it's between B and C tier. We can put it on B, because yeah, exactly. We can put it on B. I would say.
Yeah, like I don't get bored watching it. Like sometimes watching Phantom Menace, I get like
Oh yeah,
already,
oh yeah.
you know?
Like
So just because of that, I probably put it on B. Like
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, both are like they're not perfect movies, but they are fun to watch.
yeah,
So,
like you have to be watching the movie that you will finish the movie, because there's many movies that you just don't. You get bored
Yeah.
in multiple Star Wars movies if you're not interested or you're not even focusing at all. So
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
yeah, talking about the second spin-off, yeah,
yeah. So Rogue One.
yeah,
Um,
Rogue One, yeah,
This was actually a really good movie.
it's a great
Like
movie.
really good movie. From like these Disney movies, it's easily my favorite. It's so well made. It gives a lot of like story coming to New Hope, which gives more impact to New Hope in general. Like it's very good movie, I think, and especially all the Darth Vader moments are awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Tarkin is in it. Yeah,
More time on him.
There's not really much background, like the characters on like Empire side, like the Imperial scenes are more like them just trying to blast their stars, like rebel starships, or blasting their base in episode 5 or something. The characters really don't get in depth, so there isn't anything to like relate to on the opponent side to say. And I think like Rogue One is just really great on like character building, story building. Moments are great. Everything. It's just exactly. It's one of those movies that I think it leaves Star Wars to its full potential. Like I said.
Yeah. The only weird thing I will say about this movie was when I first time was watching it, I didn't know any of the characters. Of course, like Tarkin and Darth Vader, but they are more like cameos.
Yeah, Leia.
So these main characters, I didn't know anybody, so I pretty much didn't care about any of those characters until to the last part of the movie, and then everybody basically died. So like that was kind of weird, but like they don't need to have like a sequel, so in that regard it makes sense that they had to kind of die because the people would
they already have a sequel. They already have a sequel called Episode 4.
Yeah, but like in a way that like these main characters kind of had to die, so it was kind of weird that they used all complete new main characters and not take like some characters from the old movies and then put them in this movie.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, or Rebels or something like that.
Yeah, but we are getting prequels now for this movie with Andor coming next year. So
yeah, that makes sense. Like, maybe we will have more prequels as TV shows or movies for these characters.
Yeah, I just like what they're doing. I think they should make these like movies also, but I think the series is kinda the way to go. But I don't like that they go like they had them in Mandalorian season 2. They had few episodes, and like in Clone Wars, they could have just or Bad Batch. I'm talking actually, but you should just get rid of and just spend the money on the episodes you have already. You don't have to have like Kenobi is 6 episodes, isn't it? When it comes out, that's 6 episodes. So yeah, I think that's what you should do. It's like 3-hour movie, but. It's 6 hours.
Yeah, like I think like a lot of times shows and TV shows end up like they end up forcing to like stretch it to multiple episodes, and I'm always like, you don't need these few episodes. Just cut them out. It doesn't really matter as long as the story is good. Just have as many episodes you need to have to tell the story you want to tell. I think that's the one thing that makes it easier for TV shows. That's like one thing that I like more about TV shows than movies. So it like in movies there's usually the problem that you cannot tell everything you wanted to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is like the opposite of that problem.
That's the opposite of the problem. But I think we should tier rate Rogue One, and
I would put it A tier.
I would put it absolutely A tier. There's no question it being lower than A tier.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think these Andor and if they will have other TV shows or movies about the characters from Rogue One, I think it's gonna make the movie even better.
Yeah.
Maybe if the shows are gonna be good, they actually can even make Rogue One to S tier. Maybe some point.
I mean, Rogue One.
Where we get more impact on these characters.
Rogue One doesn't have enough storylines and characters and moments. It's just it's a movie. It goes from point A to B. It really doesn't continue. It continues the other movie that exists, and but like it's not a culmination point of anything story, but like episode 3 is. But it's really close. But
yeah, and it kind of sums or put us to watch these random characters we don't know and then end up killing all those characters that we don't know, and it's just one movie thing and we don't really build any true emotional connection to the characters and then they get killed off. But I think that TV shows can actually, like Andor, they can actually fix that somewhat at least, or help with that. Not fix, but like help with that. So they can even make this movie better, I think. But yeah, it's still amazing movie, don't get me wrong. So should we continue straight to original trilogy?
Let's go for original trilogy. I have no future comments about Rogue One. It's a great movie. Freaking go watch it. If you haven't seen Rogue One for a while, go watch it. I actually might do that. I haven't seen it for year and a half, maybe 2 years, something. I should just watch the whole Star Wars movies again. I actually feel
maybe
that's a thing.
Both watch them.
Yeah. We are turning this channel to reaction channel and just watching Star Wars the first time. Oh no!
I don't know. I never really wanted to have like a reaction channel.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know. Like,
neither.
Personally, nothing wrong or nothing against reaction channels, but I always feel like that's not what I want to do.
Yeah,
because then you start to do those
really,
type of videos, then you always gonna have to do.
Yeah, but that's nice way to grind some views. We might do it.
True. Yeah.
True. But Star Wars 1.
New Hope. So what I like about this movie is because it was first movie and George Lucas didn't really even expect to have any other movies after this one.
Yeah.
He didn't really expect it to do that well, or as well as it did. Not even close. So what is great about this movie is it's pretty much the only movie from all of these that doesn't really depend on the other movies that much. Like it's just, if you would think like none of the other movies exist, this movie would still like make a lot of sense and still be a good movie to watch. You don't need other movies, to make this movie good.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So because this movie has like a start and end, so I really like this movie. Of course it's old, but you cannot really criticize movie for being old. I think that's extremely unfair. So yeah,
I mean, George had a script for 3 movies and he had budget for only 1, and
yeah,
thank God they only gave him a budget for 1.
And apparently he kind of,
or he decided to do only 1, like 1/3 of his original script.
Yeah, and I guess he talked about like how he kind of took the ending of what he designed to be trilogy of 3 movies and put it on
this movie,
first on this movie. So that's why there is
I guess he had I guess he had a major battle on the end of episode 4, like the original episode 1. But then he had only money to do like 1 movie, so he took carefully and took the whole Death Star thing from episode 6 to 3. And when he had to make those movies, he just like, okay, let's just make them build another one for story wise. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I would put this movie probably to A tier. I think it's a classic, but I don't want to really like appraise movie too much just because it was the first one. That's also kind of unfair.
Yeah.
Unfair way to rate them. So yeah, I would probably put it to A tier just because I think there's two movies that just simply are better than others.
Yeah, like I'm like between A and B tier. It's kind of
Okay.
like episode 2, so it's like it has the story, it's great. Maybe a little bit not that good, but we can put it in A tier for now, cause
Yeah, personally, I think like acting wise and filmmaking wise, it's a little bit better in my opinion than two. And like a cohesive like story.
yeah.
Better in my opinion.
I mean,
that's
it's
why.
a one whole story. It doesn't have any like
Yeah.
anything left leaves open. So yeah, let's put it 8 here for now. If there's, we might change it later, but maybe.
Yeah. And from New Hope we can continue to Empire Strikes Back, and I just wanna straight put it on S tier, if that's fine for you. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think that's
movie.
fair. I think that's fair.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's probably
it's
the movie that I've seen the most, maybe.
Well, it's the movie we have seen most in the past few years. Like,
Yeah, well, at least that, especially, yeah.
yeah, that especially. Yeah.
I think it's just a legendary story. Like, there's just so many things about the movie that are cool.
Yeah.
I think the start is cool, the whole hot thing, and then like Yoda first time, and yeah, it's just,
of course, it's a movie.
The whole Han Solo Leia thing. I think it's very good movie, and it has like multiple. It's actually one of the first movies, like one of the oldest movies that I know that has like multiple stories that it follows in the same movie. Like one movie that is older than this one that I remember being like, that was Godfather 2, and that was hella long movie. But like this kind of have like the story of Han Solo and Leia, and then the Luke story, and then they,
yeah,
put them together at the end.
Yeah, it has some of the like the type of stuff that episode 2 has. So it's a bit maybe weak on story wise. It kind of starts from what we already know and ends, like holding that something is going to happen, but it just has great characters, great storylines, movies, like stuff happening on the movie.
Yeah.
It's just so solid and so good that I will.
And also, it has the same effect that episode 3, where like it's not just good guys winning. It's actually like, well, Empire Strikes Back, basically.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back.
And it doesn't all end up good for the good guys, basically. So I think, especially at back then, that wasn't that usual. Or like usually good guys won, and that was that, and then let's go to the next movie. So this kind of having like this open ending, like this what's gonna happen next type of ending, it wasn't really a thing back then. I think this is basically one of the first movies to ever do that. So yeah, that I think it kind of, well, Star Wars always, all the trilogies in somewhat in different ways kind of broke the whole movie like production, like did something that nobody has ever done before type of things. So I think it's amazing movie.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I mentioned before, we have seen this movie a couple of times in a few recent years, and that's why it's especially more closer to heart and stuff. Like we saw this as a live concert, the movie, like a live orchestra, and that was just great. And
a couple of years back. Yeah,
and then like on the start of COVID, like movie theaters kind of shutting down, but they didn't. So they didn't have any movies, but they could keep them open. So my local theater run the original version of Episode 5. It had the title Star Wars Episode 2, if I'm not wrong, and it didn't have subtitles for, which is weird for like in Finland. It's everything has subtitles and even Swedish subtitles, which is fucking weird. I think it's just stupid, but like it didn't have subtitles, and it was, I think it was the original version because it didn't have any of the edits. You know, Cloud City was the original, and there was no edits like what they have done like afterwards.
Yeah. All this, what was it, 2011 Blu-ray edits?
Yeah, it's nothing like
that.
Lucas edition 5 million Star Wars Disney edit by 15.
By the way, did you know, at least what I heard from, I don't know if it is 100% accurate, but what I heard from my father, who grew up when these movies first came, they were actually called just, the first movie was just Star Wars, and then it was Empire Strikes Back, and
Star Wars
Return of the
Empire,
Jedi. Yeah, they weren't actually Star Wars and then something. They were just Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
and then later on they put the Star Wars to everything, so it's Star Wars.
Yeah, so people realized, there's the same stuff, because the movies might have not been known everywhere, of course.
Yeah.
But should we go for the episode currently known as Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi? Which is
the true ending of this movie.
Yeah, the true... The ending of the movies that actually, with the current canon, make some freaking sense.
Yeah, basically.
Just make the Throne Trilogy to replace sequels. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I will talk about replacing sequels with Throne Trilogy every time I can. So
yeah,
maybe
just
maybe
put it out there, just in case Disney's listening.
Yeah, because somehow everything we talk about like 2 weeks before happens like 2 weeks later. So
yeah, everybody.
Isn't Star Wars? Wasn't Star Wars Day this month or in a week, or was it in next month? Okay, they will announce Throne Trilogy in November 12th if it's the Star Wars Day, Investor Day or something. Yeah, just wait for that.
Okay.
Then quote me on this. But Episode 6 is another great one. I really think
it's amazing movie.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't really like that much are actually the Ewoks, but they are made for like merchandise stuff. So
yeah, I would love them if the movie had Wookiees.
Wookiees. Yeah.
Rather than, of course, they will change the planet and stuff. But no, they wouldn't have to change because that Kashyyyk would have never happened if that happened originally. So. But what about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Well, then it will be in Endor.
Honestly, I think George Lucas did the droid attack on Wookiees just because he was pissed off that he couldn't do that back in Return of the Jedi, so he wanted to do that in episode 3.
Yeah, he had budget to do Wookiees fighting something. Of course, it's cool shit.
Yeah, so he's like,
cool
fuck
stuff.
it, I'm gonna do it now then, because I can't do it earlier.
Yeah, and if you're watching
Lucas is a badass. I remember when in Mark Hamill interview back in, was it like before Empire Strikes Back or something, or was it like before Return of the Jedi? Maybe. I'm not really sure which one it was, but he talked about how George Lucas one day when they were shooting whatever movie they were shooting, like Star Wars movie, asked Mark Hamill that if I would do like another trilogy of 3 movies, Star Wars movies, like would you be down to do that? And Mark Hamill was like, yeah, sure, like when are you thinking about doing those movies? And like Lucas were like, I don't know, around like maybe like around 2011. This was back 1980, so yeah, I mean George Lucas, he's a crazy genius.
Yeah, he saw that now I have the money in bank to save and wait for a generation and do them again.
Yeah, but I mean that guy already had like back in 1980 or even earlier, like already had this idea that okay, it's 77, I'm gonna start this trilogy, and then I'm gonna do other trilogy, and then 2011 I'm gonna do another trilogy
like
with these same characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, when when these same actors are old enough to do that. That was crazy. Sadly, prequels were so hated that we had to wait a few years before sequels happened, and then they didn't happen the way they should have happened. So,
but episode 6 has really good, really good ending storyline, and it has amazing soundtrack, and it's just great. I mean, we didn't talk about episode 6 a lot, but I'm talking about episode 6, so I mean, I could hear it already, but if you wanna have point run out, then have a go.
I mean, Return of the Jedi, it was, I guess, as a singular movie, it's not the greatest, but it's amazing ending for the trilogy, and actually for the whole saga, like with the prequel trilogy. So that's the biggest thing. Why I was like, since the day one when episode 7 came out, I was like, amazing, like we have another Star Wars movie, but at the same time, like, how can you top that ending? And they ended up not topping that ending at all. So, you know, it's just it's amazing ending for that saga, for the trilogy, and it just makes them like, I don't like, it's just a good ending. So it didn't make any sense to continue from that, in my opinion. So
I would put it in A tier.
yeah, I would agree on that.
I think it's a lot better movie than episode 4, but I cannot put it on S tier, so it's there.
I think it's better made or more well made than episode 4, but also it probably has much higher budget than 4. So it's older. Like, when was it? It was like 83. I think it's like 1983, and the Empire Strikes Back is 1980. So they were like 3 years apart, I believe. So yeah, I think, but they're both. I kind of like them just as much. There's both things had things that I don't like, and both things had things that I do like. And as a singular movie, I like New Hope better. But you know, when it comes to like the whole trilogy, I like Return of the Jedi maybe better, because it's just amazing ending for the whole trilogy and the whole saga. So yeah.
Before we go to the speedrun sequels, let's talk fast about, because I mentioned Star Wars soundtracks. Do you have any like favorite soundtrack from one specific movie, or one specific soundtrack, even like something to highlight?
Whole soundtrack, that's very difficult to say. Probably maybe one. I would maybe say Empire Strikes Back, because I bought that as a vinyl for my brother last Christmas, and it's amazing. But I will still have to probably go personally with, like, Empire Strikes Back is probably the most legendary, but then again I will still have to go with Revenge of the Sith. I think that has the best like complete soundtrack and the most like these amazing scores. I mean, but then as a singular score, I will go Across the Stars. That's my favorite Star Wars score.
Yeah, I think we have to do a soundtrack tier list and somehow rate them. Yeah. I do. Revenge of the Sith has incredibly good like soundtrack. It has many good themes and tracks. But I do love Rogue One's track also. It's so great. But Return of the Jedi and Empire also have like so good like tracks and themes, and like it has just so good.
Like all the movies have their own like good scores. So it's very hard to say like you can like whatever of these movies except maybe the Clone Wars one. You can just any of these movies, they have like at least one amazing score, like Phantom Menace and Duel of Fates and Episode 2,
one good track,
Attack of the Clone and Across the Stars, and well, Solo actually I'm not really that sure about. I don't remember
Solo is not that good. I would have to say Episode 3 has to be, because it has the it has a stack ton of good shit.
Yeah,
I smell
definitely.
pizza. Ah, goddamn.
Damn. Pizza man.
Speedrun
man.
time. Yeah, we have been going closer to a
Well,
hour
the next one.
soon. So yeah, next
The
one
next
is the
movies are
speedrun
sequels,
trilogy.
so we can just speed run through that. And by the way, if you can see these holiday things, there we are not gonna go through those. I've only seen the holiday special,
and I have no idea even what those other
it's
small
straight F
pictures
tier.
are.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm sorry all the special fans if there's any.
So yeah,
if you're a fan of specials, then you're kind of special fan. Anyways, episode 7. It's my least annoying movie from these, so it's probably my favorite movie from all of these. I remember because I was so hyped to go watch Star Wars movie in movie theaters.
Yeah, I have to say that's one only one I really like from Sequel Trilogy. Yeah.
It was basically very rehearsal of the episode 4, I understand that.
Yeah, exactly.
But also episode 4 worked, so this worked kind of as well. Not as well as episode 4, but it also worked. It wasn't like terrible, and it gave a lot of like good characters or potential for good characters like Kylo Ren, for example,
Rey.
and Poe and Rey, and then they end up fucking Snoke, and yeah, they ended up like ruining it because of they couldn't have like just why couldn't they have like guys write a full like how they did Lord of the Rings and write like single or full trilogy and then make it in 3 parts. I can't understand why they did it so fucking hard, like why they did it so hard way. But yeah, to me, I still remember I never thought we would have any more Star Wars movies before they announced this movie, and I was so damn hyped. And this was probably the only one from these 3 that I came out from the theater very happy and very like
indeed.
Like I liked what I saw, and I'm like can't wait for the next one. So
yeah, you couldn't wait for the next.
Maybe B or C. I don't really know.
I would say it's only thing I like about the Sequel Trilogy really is just the soundtracks. They're great.
They have very good.
They're really great, and the few characters are decently good. But I know, do Tron Trilogy, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Kylo Ren had the most potential, and that they. Especially in this movie, and then they were like, let's do him as an emo kid for the next one. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I would say it's a B tier, lowest B tier out of these all.
Yeah. It's a B tier, but it's not as good as episode 2 or so.
Yeah, not even close, but it's not better than Solo, but it might be better than Solo, but it's clearly not better than episode 2. No.
Yeah.
Episode 8, Last Jedi. I still think it's better than Rise of Skywalker, so C tier automatically.
I honestly I don't know. I still feel like this movie was the one that ruined the trilogy. That makes me feel that this kind of changed.
Episode 9 doesn't make any freaking sense. It's just
it doesn't. What this movie does, but what I just cannot stand, is that it does this fucking surprises that what was his name? Ryan
Johnson,
yeah. Like he likes to do in his movies, just like Knives Out, these like surprises.
Yeah.
But like the problem is in Knives Out, it's the type of like movie that where it like makes sense and it works. But in this movie, it's like most of the surprises just was letdowns. Like Luke is here, but then it's not actually here.
Yeah,
but he doesn't die. But he actually dies.
Ass, yeah.
Like it's just so many fucking like plot twists that are there just for the sake of plot twist and doesn't really make sense for the movie. That I'm like, why? Like why? I just don't understand. And then also Yoda didn't feel like Yoda at all to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the movie is really weird.
It's maybe just a bit better than Rise of Skywalker because Rise of Skywalker just was this at least fan service shit.
Yeah, basically. Last Jedi has a story and it's trying to go somewhere, but it's trying to go somewhere with the like direction, but it's not the right direction that everybody wants. So it's better than episode 9 because episode 9 just somebody just
Yeah, I would agree.
somebody speeded on a movie track and said this.
My problems with Last Jedi is that it wasn't the direction I wanted, but also it didn't feel like Star Wars movie because I don't think Rian Johnson honestly should direct Star Wars movies. I don't think he doesn't understand Star Wars enough. Personally, I think that way.
Yeah, exactly. I think he if he gets his solo like singular Star Wars movie. Well, somebody was talking about trilogy. No, he's not going to get trilogy, but if he gets one movie to make or a series episode to make sometime, I think he can do that great, possibly. But making a main.
I'm probably not gonna watch it. I don't know. And I have nothing against Rian Johnson. Listen, I like Knives Out. And those are honestly the only 2 movies that I've seen from him that I remember of, at least. But I like Knives Out. I think it was a genius movie. But that type of style that Rian Johnson likes to do just didn't fit for Star Wars, in my opinion. So I don't think he should direct Star Wars movies. He's still a good director, but just not Star Wars movies.
Yeah, not
that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think if they gave him like a spin-off movie, it could work. But if they give him a mainstream, like main movie, it's no, that was a bad decision.
Yeah.
And episode 9 is just like trying to be some type of
to D or C.
Yeah, like
D
episode
tier.
I would say Last Jedi is C and episode 9 is D.
Yeah, I can agree. But yeah.
Episode 9 just feels like it tries to be some kind of Marvel Avengers type movie, just kind of rushes the finish, has nothing really to tell. But if you have no further comment, then don't leave yet, everybody, because we have only one special moment of the episode, that is this day in history of Star Wars. So this day in history, 11th of October in 2016, Ahsoka novel by E.K. Johnston came out. It's a great novel. I recommend the audiobook. It's read by Ashley Eckstein, the voice actor of Ahsoka Tano. But you can recap the episode, I think.
Yeah, before we end, I'm just gonna fastly go through. So yeah, holiday specials or specials in general we didn't include in this list, even though they are there, but
somehow.
So D tier is Clone Wars movie, and then
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, nobody even cares. I don't even know the name, and it came out 2 years ago. Yeah.
C tier is The Last Jedi and The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace being like a little bit higher than Last Jedi, if you ask me.
Of course.
Then B tier from worst to best being Force Awakens. I just don't even remember the names of these sequels anymore.
Yeah.
Solo and The Attack of the Clones. A tier is New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Rogue One. And S tier is, and these are not in specific order because we both probably disagree in which order these 2 are gonna go.
Absolutely.
But like we both agree that they are the top 2. So Empire Strikes Back and The Revenge of the Sith are only S tier movies. That's it. That was our tier list. If you agree, disagree, let us know in the comment section what you thought. How would you rate these movies? And do you dislike sequels just as much as we do, or are we too harsh on sequels? Did we rant them too much? Let us know in the comments. If you did like this video, like this tier list video, then hit the like button. Maybe subscribe. We're gonna have much more tier lists in the future, and we have a lot of other great podcast content as well.
If you have ideas, comment down below. We will appreciate that. Yeah, we appreciate it. But that's it.
But yeah, that's it. See you in our next video. Have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time of day it is. I guess it's day still.
Yeah.
It's still part of the day. Anyways, see you in the next video. But until then, bye.
Bye.